people who have various interests in the watershed. And beyond that, we have people on our committees. I happen to chair the Awareness and Education Committee. And we have some board members on it. You know, we have people from chambers of commerce and from city governments and county governments too on the Alliance board. But our education committee reaches out beyond the board, and we bring in citizens who are interested in water issues but who are not currently board members. We have people from the Corps of Engineers and from the County Extension Service and from the Beaver Water District that treats the water, Fayetteville and Bloom, they're just a whole wide range of Audubon, Arkansas, and other organizations that are involved in education and awareness about water issues. So that's probably the major group that I've worked with recently, but I also worked with, I'm on the board of the Fayetteville Natural Heritage Association and have been for about 4 years now. And one of the things that we did fairly recently was a green infrastructure study that showed areas in Fayetteville and surrounding towns that provided green spaces and corridors between them. And many, many of those, of course, run through floodplains. Mm-hmm. And so there's a very strong water element to the green infrastructure. Mm-hmm. And a couple of years ago, I put together an annual meeting program on water issues for the Fayetteville Natural Heritage Association, bringing in Marty Matlock from the university and Martin Leaner from the AEDQ. And I think he was involved with us even back then. So
he was the innovative and alternative.
Yeah, person. Yeah, that's right. That Martin was doing that. So it's something that I feel pretty passionate about. And my wastewater connection is a kind of a curious one. My older daughter became a wastewater chemist, and she started out at the Fayetteville treatment plant and then was hired away by the Springdale one to head their lab and their industrial pre-treatment program. And about a year ago, she was promoted to plant manager, so she is very much involved in wastewater issues, and we still talk sewer at my house. They're getting older, Jennifer's work.
Well, you have both mentioned a lot of groups and people and activities. Somebody watching this who is passionate, but they perhaps don't know where to begin. Barbara Harmony, where would you suggest a person, just an ordinary citizen, begin doing something, helping?
Well, there's a lot of groups as far as getting informed. There's what Barbara was talking about, and then there's the multi-basin group that takes in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri. Mm-hmm. And they're also involved with the Upper White River Basin Foundation. And of course,
This David Keslettons.
Yeah, that's his. And they put out this terrific book that I thought I brought. Yeah.
Yes.
This is really a gorgeous book.
Oh, wow.
They're going to give us a box to be giving away at our June 9th program in Basin Park.
Yeah. It's called A Landowner's Guide to Streamside Living, and among other things it talks to landowners about things that they can do, best management practices and ways of preserving their land instead of it's being washed away by flood events, things they can do to protect the riparian areas. And there are a number of groups now that are working. David has a fabulous website and electronic newsletter and puts out very beautiful publications, and I think reaches a lot of people. There's also been a great deal of success from the Illinois River Partnership And Delia Hack is their executive director. She has done an enormous amount to make people aware of water issues, and that comes in part because the Illinois River, which flows into Oklahoma, is a source of nutrient buildup that goes into Oklahoma. We've been sued by Oklahoma, which suddenly gets a lot of people's attention. But they've done a lot, especially with young people. I think her Water Rangers program is pretty wonderful. And one late January day, I took my 2 younger grandchildren to go with a group of Illinois River Partnership people to plant trees in the riparian zones along Neocoska Creek, which is one of the tributaries to the Illinois. And I thought, what a fabulous way to teach young people about water issues. There are a lot of curriculum materials, and water and hands-on involvement with water things are now part of the standard educational curriculum for Arkansas. And Beaver Water District has created some materials, but so has the Park Service, and there are a whole variety of resources out there for anybody who wants to teach people from the cradle to the grave, essentially, about water issues. And yet, there are, if I walked down the street in Fayetteville or went out to the mall and asked people randomly, where does your drinking water come from? I'm going to bet that an awful lot of them would not know. And that's why the Beaver Watershed Alliance feels that it has a very important message to get across, and that we all have a vested interest in it, that this is what we drink. Mm-hmm. And as Barbara, I think the phrase, we all live downstream, must be one that I heard first from you. And it's such an important concept to remember that every one of us lives downstream from sources of pollution, and we all have an enormous interest in keeping it clean, keeping our rivers and streams clean.